Shalom, 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 my brothers and sisters of the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another end of the week Sabbath class. I'm your brother Ananias for A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel, and I appreciate you brothers and sisters tuning in as always. Before we get started, we want to give our honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai for the abundance of all things. And through his strength, sacrifice, and example, we are all able to be here today to be uplifted in the spirit. Appreciate you, brothers and sisters, for tuning in. All right. As I always state week in and week out, we got to stay strong in this truth and keep pushing regardless of how we feel or what's going on in this world that we live in this wicked world that we live in. But we got to remember to constantly pray for our brothers and sisters. Pray for them to stay strong, to keep pushing, to stay dialed into the words of the Most High. Remember to pray that your brothers and sisters get it together, that they are healed spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. We got to pray for our brothers and sisters daily, not just when we hear something bad, but we got to pray for our brothers and sisters consistently, that they stay dialed into the Most High and to walk in the way, as our forefathers once did, So once again, brothers and sisters, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already done so. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And make sure to share the content, because this is put together with hopes and regards of teaching our brothers and sisters to uplift us as a nation as a whole, to push us forward in the right direction. So we're going to jump right into it. Today's class is called Don't Die in Your Security. Don't die in your security. Why do we choose to go into this class today? Because this is something, a topic that needs to be discussed, and it's something that plagues us as a nation of people. Even though you see the word security in there, it actually plagues us as a people, because we tend to think that we are somehow in our security or in a state of security by the jobs that we hold, by the amount of money that we have, by the relationships that we're in, our looks, the American way. A lot of different things keep us in a lost state of mind. And we're going to get into this and break down a few things just to give brothers and sisters clarity on some things that they should be understanding and thinking about in these last days. All right, so we're going to open up with the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 16. All right, bear with me right quick. Put it on the screen. All right, we're going to start with the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 16, and it reads, "And it came to pass at the end of 7 days, Sabbath day, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me." So this is what this class is based on, giving warning to our brothers and sisters, because a lot of us, we still got a prideful mindset, even being in the truth, where nobody can tell us anything, or we think we have enough, or I've learned this, I don't have to learn anymore. I did this, I don't have to go and do anything else. I did this, or I'm retired, I'm done working. Nah. We have to give warning to our brothers and sisters, because you're in a state of mind or a state of existence where you are feeling safe in your security, your little security blankets. We as a nation, we got to get our minds together. What we have accomplished here in this land in America that we live in, Babylon the Great, even our brothers and sisters around the world, we have thinking that we have secured something, secured the bag, because we got a few cars or a house or a degree or whatever it may be. We think that we have secured the bag and we secure. Or I put in 20, 30 years here, I'm secure with my retirement. Nah, Trump showing you that, hey, that's not nothing that you can rely upon. You can't rely on your 401k, the money in your bank, the cars. You can't even rely on your health. So we living in a false sense of reality here in this world that we live in, And as the Lord speaking in Ezekiel right here, you got to give warning to our brothers and sisters. You got to wake the hell up and realize, hey, you're not in a comfortable state. At any given moment, everything that you've been living for and living with can be flipped upside down. All right, verse 18, it said, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So as brothers and sisters in this truth, knowing who we are and what we're supposed to be doing, if you're standing back, standing by and saying, I'm good, I'm straight, and you watching your brothers and sisters continue to spiral out of control, the Lord going to require your blood for their loss, for their death, because you didn't warn them. You didn't take the time out because you figure, hey, I'm straight, I'm good. You figure you have learned enough, hey, that's it, that's all I need. I've done enough. Nah, the Lord said, go get them out of captivity, paraphrasing. So our job will never be done. We can never kick back and kick our feet up and say, hey, the job is done. I got enough. I done did enough. Nah. Verse 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So by us giving warning, we're going to deliver our own souls. We love our brothers and sisters. We wish that they would get this understanding and abide by it and live and walk in the way. But everybody ain't going to do that. We know that just by reading the scripture. But it's our job to learn, study, apply, and go out and try to get his knowledge back so that we will deliver our own souls trying to make it to the kingdom. A lot of our brothers and sisters, even in the truth, they just in it for the moment. They ain't really in it to get to the kingdom. As sad as that may seem, a lot of us, we just secure in certain things. Securing a job, hey, shit, that's all I'm going to do. Excuse my language. I'm just going to work. I'm not going to work hard for the Lord, but I'm going to work so I can provide for a vain sense of glory or pride. A lot of us, our mindset is gone. And because of these things, we're going to end up dead behind it. Think about this. I'm going to go to the book of Ecclesiastes right quick. Chapter 7. That's why the Lord telling them, hey, you're going to die in that security blanket that you trusting in so hard, so dearly. You're going to die in it. Ecclesiastes 7, and we're going to go to verse 16. Make sure to take notes, brothers and sisters. And just follow along, take notes. All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 16 says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself? So a lot of brothers and sisters, they'll get to the point where they don't want to listen to certain individuals. They say, hey, they holy rollies or whatever the case. They don't want to listen to what they got to say when they speak and thus saith the Lord. The Lord say, don't be righteous over much. And certain brothers and sisters will say, hey, they trying to put too much on me. They trying to push me too hard. Hey, don't be too righteous over much. Verse 17, be not over much wicked. Be not over much wicked. Neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time? Being around a bunch of wickedness, following after wickedness, the ways of this world. He's telling you, be thou not foolish. Neither be thou foolish. Why should thou die before thy time? Because a lot of us are comfortable here in captivity. As sad as that sounds, a lot of us are comfortable in captivity. Just as Harriet Tubman said, she would have freed a lot more slaves had they known they were slaves. That's a lot of our brothers and sisters today. They still have that slave mentality. They still are comfortable here in captivity, knowing they can't get ahead. No matter how hard they try, they can't get ahead. They knowing what's going on. But yet and still they find it easy to find comfort here in captivity, loving the other nations, hating themselves, but they find security or comfort here in this wicked society. I don't know why my voice like that. Bear with me. All right, moving on from there, let's go to the book of Luke right quick. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 21. And we're going to go to verse 34. See what Christ got to say. A.O.I. And it reads, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts, meaning your minds, be overcharged with safane and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that the day come upon you unawares. What is he talking about? The day of judgment, the day when A.O.I. cracked the sky. So he's telling you in the beginning of the verse to take heed, examine yourself. Examine yourself daily, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged, meaning always thinking about foolishness, surveying. Let's look that word up right quick. That ain't a word that we use too often. Let's look at that right quick. Cause to desire no more or something as a result of having consumed or done it in excess. All right. To do something in excess. That's all we want out of that. To overdo it, basically, without moderation. Let's go back to it. Unless your hearts be overcharged with safane, overdoing things and doing drunkenness, not just drinking wine, but a drunken mindset where you following the ways of this world and the cares of this life, meaning you care more about the things in this life than you do about the Most High. And so that day come upon you unaware, where you are completely unaware of the signs of the times. You just going through the motions day in and day out, just getting up, going to work every day. You just going through the motions. You're not paying attention to nothing going on in the world. You just looking at Facebook all day, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. All you doing is scrolling your life away, watching movies, watching your life away. You are unaware of the things that are going on in this world. And because of these things, you don't know who you are, what you're supposed to be doing, because you ain't taking the time to study or read. You're going to get caught up. And you're going to die in your security, because those things that you do every day is what you call security. Verse 35, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. So we got to be watching, not just watching your 401k or where your stocks is at, how much money in your bank account. You need to be watching the signs of the time, seeing how the people are becoming more and more evil and wicked day by day, where they are more fixated on putting their life on social media than serving the Lord. Because of these things, our people going to die in their security. This is why we got to get warning. From there, let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. We're going to start at verse 1. First Thessalonians chapter 5. We're going to start at verse 1. And it reads, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, meaning Israel, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. We hear this all the time. You know, the day of the Lord, he coming back like a thief in the night, but don't nobody take it seriously. It's something that sounds good, something good to talk about, but we don't take it seriously. Because if he said you had to do A, B, C, D in order to be saved tomorrow, everybody be searching that book trying to figure out what he talking about. A war getting ready to break out tomorrow. Nukes gonna be dropping left and right. But he say, I need you to do this and do that. Follow what was written in this book in that chapter. Everybody gonna open them books then. But when he giving us an opportunity to learn, to better ourselves, to examine ourselves, to be able to stand before him, to escape the things that are coming, we ain't got time. We got time for everything else, but for the betterment of ourselves, our brothers and sisters, our nation of people, or for the Lord. Reading on. For when they shall say peace and safety, these are the things that everybody is fixated on. Think you got a pistol at the house, a big ass Rambo knife, a sword. You know, you got the fastest car. You know how to do all the karate moves, jujitsu, whatever. When they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. All that you had, that you felt secure with, it ain't gonna matter. Peace and safety, that's what they promote now. Hey, trust in us, trust in the American way, the American dream. Trust in going to get this degree, thinking that's gonna make your life better or your people better. Then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So as these people telling you safety, peace, they don't know the way of peace. Your enemies, our enemies, they don't know the way of peace. Let me show you that right quick. So when they speaking it to you, don't believe it because they have no idea what the hell they talking about. Lord willing, I got the precept for this. Isaiah 59 verse 8. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked path. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. So while we striving each and every day, to live like our enemies, to learn their ways, to trust in them, to follow after them, just know and understand that the scriptures say that they don't know the way of peace. They giving you the peace sign. Hey, they don't know what peace is. That's why the world is in chaos now, because the ones who rule it are wicked as hell, and they don't, the way of peace, they know not. I understand that, brothers and sisters. But like I was saying earlier, we as a people, we find security in wealth, relationships, our looks, the American way or the American lies, and even ignorance, which is crazy. We find security in ignorance. And as the saying goes, ignorance is bliss. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to see it. You don't want to speak the truth. So that's bliss to a lot of our brothers and sisters. Foolishness. But I'm going to show you an example of what we're talking about. Bear with me and put this video on the screen. This is something that we all see going on. We've been seeing for the past couple of days.
Partners out in Fox 11 LA. You can see the damage and destruction on your screen. This is President Donald Trump. He did hope the deployment of 2,000 National Guard members to Los Angeles would help quell ongoing anti-immigration protests there. But critics say it's doing the opposite, citing escalating tensions in the City of Angels. Right now, we're going to check in with Fox News' Ted Linder as he gives us a closer look at the damage and demonstrations.
Fires continued burning overnight across the streets of downtown Los Angeles. as unrest over recent Trump administration crackdowns on immigration surged over the weekend.
This violence that I've seen is disgusting.
Protests first erupted on Friday after dozens of immigrants in the area were detained. Those demonstrations caused President Donald Trump to deploy the National Guard, citing failures from local officials to squash the gatherings.
You have violent people, and we're not going to let them get away with it.
The city's police chief said at least 39 people were arrested since Saturday, describing tactics some people use to harm officers.
We had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you. They have a hammer, and they'll break up the cinder block and use that, pass it around to throw at officers, to throw at cars.
National Guard troops first arrived on Sunday, a move Governor Gavin Newsom called unlawful. In a post to X, Newsom added, quote, President Trump is escalating the situation by threatening to deploy roughly 500 active duty Marines to the streets of Los Angeles. This marks the first time since 1965 that a president deployed a state's National Guard without a request from the state's governor.
Abolish! Abolish!
Meanwhile, out further north Sunday in San Francisco. Ted Lindner.
Man, I know they ain't doing this. You gonna throw a commercial in? It's crazy. But this is a video showing you how we as a people have trusted, especially Northern Kingdom. We trusted in Trump. They trusted in Trump to go vote for this man. We've seen videos in time past where they like Latinos for Trump, Latino for Trump. You know, and it ain't like none of our brothers did it either. I mean, didn't do it. They participated in it as well. But went and voted for this man, thinking that he was going to do something special for us, as we've all did. And this is the result of it, you know. Play this as well, though.
Device that people are coming out on the street protesting. Some of that is happening, but there is also a coordination of protesters. I would not be surprised if you unmasked some of the people who are on the streets. You would find the same people who were protesting government activity there in Seattle and in Portland, attacks on federal buildings there from years ago, and also the protests on college campuses. I think that this is a coordinated response to government activity who are opposed to the removal of illegal aliens from the country. And so this is playing out right now in LA. There was also demonstrations in San Francisco, some in New York, and I would not be surprised to see this spread to other major cities.
A lot to dissect from what you just said, Ken. First, you mentioned the face masks, and we know that hours ago on X that President Donald Trump did post out that he said, quote, arrest the people in face masks now. And then we have the very latest on your screen, sharing it with the viewers as well from Fox 11 Los Angeles. President Donald Trump saying the Insurrection Act not off the table for LA protests. For those unfamiliar, what is the Insurrection Act? How does it relate to what we're seeing in real time?
Yeah, the Insurrection Act allows the president to enact the Insurrection Act and to use the U.S. military to put down riots inside cities. This is something that most presidents are very, very wary of using. Normally, the process goes that the government.
So you're talking about using a Insurrection Act. You're gonna try to use it on our brothers and sisters, but when they ran up in the White House, they didn't even think about using it because he was behind it. But nonetheless, this is something as a result of us voting this man in, believing in the American lies. And now you see the complete opposite happen of what the people thought were going to happen. So let me go to Lamentations right quick. Go to Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. And it reads, as for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. So we standing in line voting for these folks, praying and protesting, thinking that they're going to help us. The Lord said, you watching for a nation that can't save you. I sent this nation of people against you because of your rebellion. What sense does it make for us to be begging and pleading to the folks that put us in this condition? What are they going to do? Turn around and say, you know what, you're right, I'm going to stop. Nah. They put us in this position for a reason. They are doing these things for a reason because we have gave the Lord the cold shoulder. So he sent them upon us. Verse 18. And they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Is that not what's going on with the ICE right now? Are they not hunting our brothers and sisters down? Hunting them down in every city that you can think of. Even here in Birmingham. They going around all the different little spots, raiding the businesses, snatching our brothers and sisters off the street. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Brothers and sisters scared now. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. See that? This is all biblical, what's going on right now. It was going on back then and it's going on to this day. As the scriptures say, what was shall be. It's nothing new under the sun. Paraphrasing greatly. But that's some of that American lies that we trust in. Let me go to where's the word? I'm gonna go to some America. We like to trust in this society or this government.
And frustration from dozens of Clayton County parents who say their children are going hungry tonight after their food stamps were suddenly cut off. Fox 5's Justin Gray is at the live desk with the story that is all new tonight on The Edge. Justin.
Tom, state officials admit to me tonight that something went wrong down in Clayton County at the office that administers food stamps and Medicaid, but they're still not sure what. Parents tell me tonight they can't buy food without those food stamps.
This food stamp card ain't got number 17 cents on it.
Terry Clark says she stood in line for more than 6 hours at Clayton County's Human Services office because food stamp help for her 6 children unexpectedly ended.
There's no telling my kids that we can't eat. I'm not taking no because my babies don't deserve that. Nobody kids should go hungry down here in Georgia.
State officials say this office was overwhelmed today with dozens of families facing a similar problem. The food stamps just not there.
Me and my kids, they haven't ate since this morning. And I was supposed to get my food stamps yesterday and I didn't get nothing.
So they was getting angry. They started banging on the windows.
A state spokesperson tells me what happened here today was out of the ordinary and it was unexpected, but they say they're not sure what exactly went wrong. What was the glitch that led to this mess?
Point being, we find hope in it. We take refuge in it. Depending on another nation to feed us. That's scriptural as well. Not going to go there right now, but I'm just showing you this video how we depend solely upon them to take care of us. You know, the Lord said we're going to have to go to our enemies and want all things as a curse because of our rebelliousness. You know, here you have a news video showing how food stamp business or flipped upside down on our brothers and sisters. They went to get a re-up. It wasn't available. So instead of going out and trying to make ends meet, trying to grow their own food, they were dependent on the government to feed them. And when it wasn't there, hey, they ain't know what the hell to do. They out there protesting, beating on the glass, ready to protest and tear something up. Why die in your security? Trust in the Lord. Stop trusting in the government. Stop trusting in oppression. You know? Stop trusting in your money, thinking that's going to save you. The same way that the EBT went out of order, same thing can happen with our banks, stock market. It already happened before. What you think happened back during the Great Depression? They woke up one day, the banks was closed, couldn't go get no money. So all the money people was working hard for, the staff, for the future of their family, hey, they woke up one day, it was gone. They were eating beans, peanut butter, and jelly, if they could find it. So everything that we put ahead of the Lord, it's no what's the word I'm looking for? It's no longevity with that. It's not a guarantee. But we putting so much effort and energy into things that are not guaranteed. It's unreal. And because of these things, we're gonna die in it. That's why we gotta get this wake-up call. Don't die in your security, Israel. Stop trusting in your money, thinking that's gonna save you. You know, let's go to Psalms chapter 52 right quick. Psalms chapter 52, verse 7. And it reads, Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. See that? We gonna constantly go hard and go harder to break the commandments to earn money. So we're gonna put that money over the Most High. Trust in money in the abundance of riches and say the hell with the Most High. Ass backwards. We made not the Most High our strength. We made oppression our strength, and we were comfortable in it. We felt secure in it. Let's go to Proverbs 11 right quick. Try to move through the class quick as I can. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 28. And it reads, He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. Flourish as a branch. So if you trusting in your riches, you gonna fall. And if you still struggling after years of being in this truth, you ought to realize, hey, something ain't right. I ain't making no gain. I'm still where I was when I came into this truth. If you haven't made any leaps and bounds, you need to check what you're doing. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall. If you falling since you came into this truth, hey, you might be putting your riches over the Most High. That's why you falling. You can't get up. All right. A lot of us, we trust in relationships. We trust in the looks that we have. Hey, the Lord ain't dealing with that. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. I'm secure in my relationship. I trust. Hey, that ain't what the Lord said. That ain't what the Lord said. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. You see that? Cursed be the man that put trust in man. You got to put your trust in the Lord and follow the process. Do thus saith the Lord, and things gonna work out. Not what you feel gonna work out, because you don't know nothing. We don't know nothing without the Lord, without keeping his commandments. All we know is wickedness, because the heart is desperately wicked. But cursed be the man that trusteth in man. You got to trust in the Lord. A lot of us don't want to do that, though. All right. From there, I want to go to 1 Samuel. Bring out this story right quick. 1 Samuel chapter 25. Here's the book of 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 1. And Samuel died, and all the Israelites were gathered together and lamented him and buried him in the house of Ramah. And David arose and went down to the wilderness of Paran. And there was a man in Maon, whose possessions were in Carmel. And the man was very great, and he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, and he was sharing his sheep in Carmel. Now the name of this man was Nabal, and the name of his wife Abigail, and she was a woman of good understanding. So this was a righteous sister right here, and of a beautiful countenance. So this was a beautiful sister. But the man was churlish and evil in his doings, and he was of the house of Caleb. What does that word churlish mean? That's a rude or vulgar or a harsh individual. You speak what the hell come out of his mouth. Don't care. All right. And David heard in the wilderness that Nabal did shear his sheep. And David sent out 10 young men, and David said unto the young men, get you up to Carmel and go to Nabal and greet him in my name. And thus shall you say unto him that liveth in prosperity, peace be both to thee, and peace be to thine house, and peace be unto all that thou hast. And now I have heard that thou hast shearers. Now thy shepherds, which were with us, were hurt. We hurt them not, neither was there aught missing unto them, all the while they were in Carmel. So he basically saying, hey, go to go to Nabal and tell him, hey, we know what you got. We heard what you're doing. When your shearers were down here, we took care of. Ain't nothing happened to them. It said, ask thy young men, and they will show thee. Wherefore, let the young men find favor in thy eyes, for we come in a good day. For we come in a good day, give I pray thee, whatsoever cometh to thine hand unto thy servants, and to thy son David. And when David's young men came, they spake to Nabal according to all these words in the name of David, and ceased. And Nabal answered David's servants and said, who is David? And who is the son of Jesse? There be many servants nowadays that break away every man from his master. Shall I take my bread and my water and my flesh that I have killed for my shearers, and give it unto men whom I know not whence they be? So he's saying, hey, I'm not giving you nothing. I don't know y'all. Now you would think that'd be reasonable. But this was a man who was in his security. Had some money, had some land, or had some animals. He feeling himself. Not knowing what's truly going on because he ain't watching. He ain't paying attention. He ain't got his ear to the street. All right, reading on. So David's young men turned their way and went again and came and told him all those things. And David said unto his men, gird ye on every man his sword. And they girded on every man his sword. And David also girded on his sword. And they went up after David, about 400 men, and 200 abode by the stuff. So 400 men riding with David to go meet this man. 200 chilling at the back watching the stuff. But one of the young men told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, behold, David sent messengers out of the wilderness to salute our master, and he railed on him. Yeah, he railed on him. All right. But the men were very good unto us, and we were not hurt, neither missed we anything, as long as we were conversing with them when we were in the fields. So this is one of Nabal's servants talking to Abigail, his wife, saying, hey, look, David gonna send some men this way. You know, he sent his men to come greet us to get some things from Nabal. And Nabal basically spit in his face, so to speak. But when we was out in the field, hey, the men looked out for us. As long as we was with them, they took care of us. Now, keep in mind that this was a sister of understanding. They were a wall unto us both night and day. What is a wall for? Protection. All the while we were with them keeping the sheep. So these brothers were basically, David was sending his men to come get a payment, so to speak, for taking care of his brothers. All right. Now, therefore, know and consider that. Consider what thou wilt do, for evil is determined against our master and against all his household. For he is such a son of Belial that a man cannot speak to him. You see, that an evil man that a man cannot speak to him. That's what that Belial word means. Evil. So then he's letting Abigail know, hey, David on his way because of what he did. All right, reading on. Verse 18, then Abigail made haste and took 200 loaves and 2 bottles of wine and 5 sheep ready, dressed, and 5 measures of parched corn and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs and laid them on asses. Hey, she wasn't playing. And that let you know that Nabal was well off. And she said unto her servants, go on before me. Behold, I come after you. But she told not her husband Nabal. And we'll get to the reason why in a minute. And it was so, as she rode on the ass, that she came down by the covert of the hill, and behold, David and his men came down against her, and she met them. Now David had said, surely in vain have I kept all that this fellow have in the wilderness. He's saying, I can't believe I protected this man, folks, so that nothing was missed of all that pertained unto him. I took care of his folks, watched over everything that he had, and he had requited me evil for good. And this how this Negro repaid me? I took care of his folks. It's like a lot of our brothers and sisters today. So more and also do God unto the enemies of David, if I leave all that pertains to him by the morning, light in any that pisseth against the wall. He's like, I'll be damned if somebody gonna spit in my face. I ain't gonna leave nothing of his household alive. Anything that piss against the wall. And that remind me of that little clip out that movie that just came out. I'm gonna try to play a little bit of it. Lord willing, we don't get flagged for it, but where is it? Was a scene in that movie that just came out. Sinners. See if he play.
On the hell you trying to boost my truck? This your truck. I ain't know it was your truck. I swear.
Bullshit. I told you it was his.
Wait, Smoke. I thought she was lying. Y'all was supposed to be in Chicago working for Capone. Yeah, we back now. Who he? Just some nigga I met last week. Where you from? Maybell. Can't have some nigga from the Maybell plantation talking about how he almost robbed.
Can't have somebody just saying they almost did this and did that. Hey, that's how David thinking right now. On his way to the bar house. I ain't gonna have nobody disrespect me like that. I done took care of his men, and I come just to say what's up, basically. Greet them. And get some payback for what we did. All right, verse 23. And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass and fell before David on her face and bowed herself to the ground and fell at his feet and said, upon me, my Lord, upon me let this iniquity be. And let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak in thine audience and hear the words of thine handmaid. So she then rode on the horse like she going to save her life. Why? Because it was on the line. Her life was on the line. The whole household, the family, her husband's life was on the line. So she ran up there, rushed up there to go stop that because of what the servant had told her. All right. Verse 25, let not my Lord, I pray thee, regard this man of Belial, this evil man, even Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. This man got all the money, got everything that a man would want, but folly was in his mind. He was a wicked individual. He put the Lord to the side. All right. But I, thine handmaid, saw not the young men of my Lord, whom thou didst send. So she says, I wasn't there when you sent the men. Otherwise, I would have talked some sense into my husband where he would have received them with some honor, so to speak. Now, therefore, my Lord, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, seeing the Lord have withholden thee from coming to shed blood, and from avenging thyself with thine own hand, now let thine enemies and they that seek evil to my Lord be as Nabal. And now this blessing which thine handmaid had brought unto my Lord, let it even be given unto the young men that follow my Lord. I pray thee, forgive the trespass of thy handmaid, for the Lord will certainly make my Lord a sure house, because my Lord fighteth the battles of the Lord, and evil have not been found in thee all thy days. You see that? So she knew about David, but Nabal act like, who is David? Who is this nigga that I got to give him some? Kind of like he thought it was a shakedown, like you see in some of these movies or in some of these neighborhoods. Somebody open up a mom and pop store. You got the local mafia or the local gang coming in there trying to shake them down. Hey, if you want protection, hey, we're going to need 50%, 25% of your profit, whatever it may be. But Nabal act like he didn't know who David was. But his wife knew exactly who he was. She said, because my Lord fighteth the battles of the Lord, and evil have not been found in thee all thy days. Think about that. Yet a man is risen to pursue thee and to seek thy soul, to my Saul. But the soul of my Lord shall be bound in the bundle of life with the Lord thy God, in the souls of thine enemies. Them shall he sling out as the middle of a sling, just like that rock he slung out of the sling and knocked Goliath out. And it shall come to pass when the Lord shall have done to my Lord according to all the good that he has spoken concerning thee, and shall have appointed thee ruler over Israel. She knew he was going to be king. That this shall be no grief unto thee, nor offense of heart unto my Lord, either that thou hast shed blood causeless, or that my Lord have avenged himself. But when the Lord shall have dealt well with my Lord, then remember thy handmaid. And David said to Abigail, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, which sent thee this day to meet me. And blessed be thy advice, and blessed be thou, which has kept me this day from coming to shed blood and from avenging myself with mine own hand. So because she was a wise and understanding sister, she prevented bloodshed that day. All right. For in very deed, as the Lord God of Israel liveth, which have kept me back from hurting thee, except thou had hasted and come to meet me, surely there had not been left unto Nabal by the morning light any that pisseth against the wall. So she was like, well, David was saying, if it wasn't for the Lord sending you up here, it wouldn't have been nobody left at your house and Nabal's house left standing. So David received of her hand that which he had brought him, or which she had brought him, and said unto her, go up in peace to thine house. See, I have hearkened unto thy voice and have accepted thy person. And Abigail came to Nabal, and behold, he held a feast in his house, like the feast of a king. And Nabal's heart was merry within him, for he was very drunken. See that? That's what we were talking about earlier. A lot of our people surveying, overcharged their mind and full of drunkenness. But this was literally a man who was drunk. Wherefore she told him nothing less or more until the morning light. Now, most women would have came in there and just spewed whatever just happened to this man, drunk or not. But like you said, she was a sister of understanding. She understood the scriptures. And I'm going to show you that right quick. Let me go to the book of Sirach, chapter 31. Sirach, chapter 31, or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. This is why we must study to show ourselves approved, brothers and sisters. Because a lot of us, we don't realize what's in the scriptures. And the Lord give you a commandment about a sister that's drunk or been drinking. This is Sirach chapter 31, verse 31. And it reads, rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. Give him no despiteful words, and press not upon him with urging him to drink. Why? Because we all heard this phrase before. People get that liquid courage in them when they start drinking. Things to get out of control real fast, in a hurry. You know, imagine if she would have came down there and told that man what happened while he was drunk. Man, he would have jumped up like he Billy Badass. Man, who is David? Where he at? He better not come up on my land no more talking that. He would have tried to go fight David. Or he would have got at her sideways. What you leaving, going up there doing that? You ain't told me nothing. You acting out on your own. You up there bowing down to another man. Giving him our food. Who told you to do that? He would have been cussing out, doing all this and that. Everything would have been out of order. But she knew how to handle the situation because she knew about the commandments. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine. When they sipping, drinking, having a good time, don't come in there bothering you, brothers and sisters. Trying to get on their ass, trying to give them grief, trying to correct them. The Lord tell you not to do that. Wait till they sober-minded. Because when they drinking, as the stores say, or the liquor store say on it, spirits. It's a spirit shop. So when they drinking, they marry, they ending up, they get other spirits on. So brothers and sisters, keep that in mind as well. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise him not in his mirth. She knew that. That was a wise and understanding sister right there. All right. Did I have another video? I think I did. And as I was bringing out earlier, where we read in Luke, the Lord told us to watch constantly and pray constantly without ceasing. But we got to keep watching. Watching for what, though? All right. Things that's going on in the world. For instance, while all you see on the news is the LA protest, this is going on the other side of the world. Bible prophecy.
It's a nuclear program. Its main uranium enrichment facility, Natanz, on fire. In the Iranian capital, the homes of those possibly involved in the country's nuclear program destroyed. Israel has hit targets, infrastructure, and individuals across Iran.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program.
Among the targets,
you see that? So while we over here paying attention to the ICE, that's something to pay attention to as well. But at the same time, war breaking out on the other side of the earth. And this is what the Lord is speaking about when he said you're going to hear wars and rumors of war. That's not the end. These are the beginning of sorrows. While that war is breaking out on the other end, they over there capturing our brothers on this side of the earth, over here in Babylon the Great. But Israel done fired missiles on Iran, trying to hit their nuclear facilities.
the chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, Hossein Salami, has been killed, according to Iranian state television, and the unit's headquarters in Tehran hit. The Israeli strikes also killed at least 2 nuclear scientists, Fereydun Abbasi and Mohammad Mehdi Tehransi. Israel's broadcasting authority says they targeted 10 scientists. Several children have also been killed, according to Iranian television. Iran's supreme leader says his country will retaliate.
So they will retaliate. And it ain't take them long. It ain't take them days and weeks. Same day. Same exact day. we over here in our little security blankets or in our security, we ain't never witnessed nothing like that. Missiles flying through the air like that. It's an aerial warfare right now over there. We ain't never experienced nothing like that. So we over here in our little security blanket, we feeling safe. We just watching it like it's a TV show, like it's a fireworks show. But imagine when them things get to flying over this way. Where your mind gonna go to then, Israel? Are you gonna be prepared? Mentally, spiritually, physically? What you gonna do then? That's why you gotta wake the hell up. And don't die in your security blanket or in your security, chasing after foolishness. All right. So you got a war breaking out over there right now. Let me go to 2nd Ezra right quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. We're going to start at verse 29. It reads, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitudes of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So the Arabia, that's Ishmael. The dragons of Arabia, meaning their armies. All the Carmanians, to my Iran, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them. Join battle with who? Ishmael. And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. That's what you see going on right now. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. Their nature is wild, a wild man that you can read about in Genesis. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, who coming after them? Understand that. And who you think behind this? The U.S. They the ones conspiring together to attack them, trying to knock out their nuclear facilities. Let's go to the book of Revelation right quick. Chapter 18. Starting at verse 1, it said, after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, meaning come out of those securities that you think you have, the ways of this world, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities. Talking about America and Babylon, the influence, the system that controls this world. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she have filled to her double. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. America sitting in a security blanket, but America gonna die as well. So brothers and sisters, don't be following after the ways of this world, because America going down while you trying to live in the home of the brave, the land of the free, the land of opportunity. America the great, so they say. No, she gonna die, be destroyed. Even though she living it up right now, just like a lot of us living it up right now, living deliciously. Torment and sorrow is gonna be given to her. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judged her. So the same thing gonna happen to Babylon that's gonna happen to our brothers and sisters that don't want to get their mind right. They don't want to come back to doing the things that they were created to do, which is serving the Lord. So you don't want to end up in the same position as Babylon. But what you want to do, or what we need to do, is to continue to seek the Lord through prayer, always learning, reading, studying, helping each other, working to do better, and serving the Lord and our people on a constant basis. You know what I'm saying? So that we don't end up in that situation. Constantly watching, praying to do more, to do better. Therefore, we don't die in our iniquity or in our security. But that's all that I got tonight, brothers and sisters. I know it's a short class, but class is called Don't Die in Your Security. Don't get caught up in the ways of this world, chasing after the things that don't really matter. You know, build your brothers and sisters up, build your spirit up, examine yourself daily. Pay attention to the things that's going on in the world, because when they say peace and safety, guess what's coming behind it? Destruction. So stay focused at all times. I'm your brother Ananias for A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel. And as always, it's an honor and a privilege to come before you each and every week to give you another edifying class. And want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being his son, who the world calls Christ. And as always, brothers and sisters, I appreciate you tuning in, and those who will tune in later on, Lord willing. And on that note, we say shalom, shalom, peace and greetings to you all, and I'm out.